As my mom and I were recently heading north on I-75, following a shrimp boil at the Venice United Church of Christ, we watched the sky shift from bright blue to shades of pink. The sky, the color deepening with every dip and rise in the road. Just a few blocks from home, the sky had become almost red. Living away from the coast, it is not often that I see the sun set, so I was deeply moved by the visual display before me. Suddenly, I realized my mom was singing softly to herself in the seat next to me. I strained to hear the words, to figure out the melody. It was a familiar hymn, but one I had not heard or sung in a while. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, the power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Perhaps now you may understand how I can break out into song. I had a good teacher. For a moment, everything seemed to have come together. My stomach was full, my mom was nearby, and the world was revealed anew in all its splendor. In the wider scope of things, these were such small things, perhaps insubstantial fragments of life. But they witnessed to something larger than me, a world that was good, life-giving, and ever unfolding. The truth be told, I, like so many of you, often get caught up in the daily routine of living, moving from moment to moment, or rather activity to activity, that I seldom have opportunity to reflect upon why I do what I do. There's always work to be done, tasks to be completed, deadlines to be met. Being a minister simply comes with its own to-do list and endless details to track down or follow up or prioritize for the coming weeks and months and years. Always thinking what lies ahead is a rare opportunity to enjoy a good meal, to appreciate the company of family and friends, and to recognize the goodness of God's creation. Moments when everything comes together and makes sense of the lives we lead. It's certainly true of the disciples as they followed the road to Emmaus, or to be more precise, as they fled Jerusalem. Life had not played out as they had earlier anticipated. Jesus' message of a world turned upside down, of the first becoming last and the last first, of lost lambs found, of servants becoming friends, was not particularly well received. Whether we are rich or poor, young or old, comfortable or afflicted, we all prefer to stay with what we know, with what we are already doing, rather than embrace a world that appears unglued, unsettled, chaotic, inside out. It's far better to keep trudging along with the hope that it will all make sense some distant day. Actually, those two disciples had already heard the good news from the woman who had gone to the tomb that morning. It cannot be said enough, but it was those women who were the first evangelists, witnesses of an empty tomb. However, their message had been dismissed, as were the voices of so many women over the centuries, proclaiming a message that we men are still reluctant to receive. Thank you, Judy, and Mimi, and Liz, and Linda. Yes, the disciples had received the good news, but those two still thought it best to get out of Dodge, to leave town before the authorities got involved. They had had their moments with Jesus, but these moments had yet to come together. As disciples, they had yet to make sense of the path they had chosen.